Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 236.
236.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. So much is happening around the Disney universe coming up soon. Halloween here at Walt Disney World. The Epcot Food and Wine Festival also here. Then you have the expanded Halloween offerings at Disneyland and Halloween on the High Seas. And that's just in the next month and a half. So definitely check that out with them if you're planning on fall travel or Christmas, which is coming up just like a month later.
I was going to say, it's not too early for Christmas. Absolutely. Check them out for full information and great deals.
And to plan your trip.
And if you do, tell them that Mousesteps sent you.
Yep. And here we are at Epcot, and I see me already. And I can tell I need to color my hair.
That was not the intention of the shot. I'm setting up going into one of our favorite places, Epcot. We always have a great time here.
Right, and we were heading to the Universe of Energy. That was the main purpose of this trip, to ride one more time before it closes forever on what month is this? August.
This is August, yes.
13th.
Yes. But, you know, Universe of Energy, an original opening day attraction, had a big change in '96 when they brought in Ellen, so it turned into Ellen's Energy Adventure. There it is. It's the Universe of Energy wall. Lots of pictures, including myself, have come up against this this wall. It's like a new wall.
Right? I mean, I've never, seen a picture of anybody against this wall, and now, all the time on Instagram, I'm seeing pictures of people against the wall.
And I shouldn't say it's that wall has been there since the very beginning. They don't allow recording during the ride, so I did take a few pictures of the dinosaurs. This is my favorite part of the ride. It's most like the original attraction, the original, as we said, the opening day attraction. And
I enjoyed it more back then, and it was okay when it first opened in '96, but now you're looking like Ellen and Bill Nye look like they're 15 years old or so. You know, the one thing about celebrities is it dates the attraction so very quickly, except for Patrick Warburton, who seems to never age.
That's very true.
And Gary Sinise isn't too bad either, but you know.
I am very, very excited about the Guardians makeover, but it's always sad to see a classic go. But I think in this case, unlike the Great Movie Ride, in this case, I'm okay. I think it is time.
Well, the Great Movie Ride has been updated through the years, just like Spaceship Earth has been, except Spaceship Earth now is in its 10th year since the last update. But Universe of Energy hasn't been in quite some time.
And of course, since a great attraction is closing, merchandise.
And I don't understand why there isn't merchandise for the attraction when it's open, like Illuminations. I would like Illuminations merchandise, but I know...
if I start seeing Illuminations merchandise, I'm getting very nervous.
Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Every time we go through the shop over there, Jeff's like, there's no Mine Train merchandise.
By the way, the blue shirts that you just saw were the annual pass holder only shirts, and these are the regular shirts. I much prefer the pass holder. Usually that's not the case, but in this case it is, and there is the hat. And I noticed they're not really doing, the logo is all dinosaurs. You're not seeing any Bill Nye or Ellen or any reference to them. So it's kind of for both. It's a classic for both versions.
Right. I mean, and a Tervis. We love Tervis, so we have so many of them.
I am drinking out of that mug right now.
Yes.
Right now.
And you have your cup with Figment from the Flower and Garden Festival, the Tervis cup.
That's right. I'm double dipping. And here, while we're there, we're looking at the classic. That is the Horizons planter, the only thing left from the classic Horizons attraction. We wanted to stop by Mission Space because we saw they have renamed the two sides. Now you have Earth and Mars, Earth being the less intense and Mars being the more intense. And that's about all I know as far as what the redo of this is going to be. Well,
the green mission takes you into to orbit around Earth, and then of course in the orange mission, as you mentioned, will be Mars, and then you have the space restaurant coming in here. Plus, I want to just mention Guardians of the Galaxy is going into the dinosaur building.
That's right. Well, we did mention that.
If I didn't mention it. So the Epcot Food and Wine Festival begins on August 31st and runs through November 13th. I believe this is the longest time that they have had the festival, 75 days. Epcot is becoming mostly a festival park at this point. You're looking at a couple months per year. It doesn't have anything.
So Project Tomorrow, and if you go into Project Tomorrow and you take a sharp left turn from this entrance, you'll see the Siemens Corporate Lounge, which is really the Spaceship Earth Corporate Lounge. We were fortunate enough to be invited up there by one of the Siemens...
Somebody who watches us, I believe, invited us. to go up there, and we never have posted that.
We have full video of a tour of the lounge. This is kind of, it's like Get Smart. This is how you access entrance. But sadly, it is fully closed. Even though the sponsorship is still going on until I think the end of September, they've flown the coop, so to speak. So there's no more corporate headquarters, or I guess it's no more open lounge as of now.
Well,
the Siemens Lounge.
I'm really glad to have been invited up the one time. I haven't done all the lounges, so that was really, really a special experience for me.
Now, quickly off to Disney's Hollywood Studios, and I think we're just going to show some of the merchandise that we found for sale for the Great Movie Ride.
And we're going to do a Walt Disney World News Today dessert party. They're selling, they're just about sold out of that, and we're going to get to walk the track.
So I've always wanted to do that. I'm so excited.
I wanted to do that, so I'm glad.
Can't wait. We'll have lots to talk about.
We didn't get into any of the free events, so now we're paying.
They sold out within seconds.
Right, of the free events. So anyway, this is a Great Movie Ride merchandise. It's sort of similar to the Energy merchandise. You have the Great Movie Ride hats, which are pretty nice, and Tervis and T-shirts and annual pass T-shirts and an ornament. And I think that's just about it.
I did get the Tervis. I got the hat. I got the shirt. I think I got almost all of it.
Well, I just want them to have it all the time. So, now it's time for Taste Central Florida. So this happens on August 19th from 6:45 p.m. to 10 p.m. I happen to be an ambassador this year. We're just going to look at some of the restaurants that will be participating in the event. It used to be called Taste of the Nation, and they will have 40 or more, actually over 40 restaurants, including STK, including Raglan Road, including Satuli Canteen from and Plancha.
And Plancha. This is going to be a spectacular event. 4 Seasons. How could you go wrong? And I guess it's all for a very good cause.
It is. It is a fundraiser, and all of the money goes to the Second Harvest Food Bank of Central Florida and the Coalition for the Homeless of Central Florida. So all of it, like all of the money raised, goes to that because everybody here is donating their time, their resources, and everything. And you can see Yak Yeti, which we're going to this week, so I can do a review, plus for my birthday, Landry's card. But you can see there's going to be so much food and so much, also 20+ beverage participants.
Well, we will be there. It looks another very, very exciting event.
Definitely check it out. Just look up on Google Taste Central Florida, and you will find that. And it's not just Disney restaurants. That's all I mentioned, but there is like 35 more that I didn't mention.
All right, so as promised, we're going to do more D23 Expo coverage. This week, we're going to talk about all the Disneyland announcements, big announcements coming to Disneyland.
And because we heard these announcements, we made another trip. We planned another trip for September.
And we will get into that in a second. First, though, the first big announcement, let's listen in and hear what it is.
You know, the toys of Toy Story are some of the most popular characters within the Disney Pixar family. The creative minds at Pixar have created many other favorites too. We've been introducing them into our parks in a number of ways. So there's the popular Buzz Lightyear Astro Blaster. There's Finding Nemo's Submarine Voyage. And of course, just right down the street, Cars Land, just to name a few. But you know, we think that we have some more opportunities to bring them to life more than ever. So I'm thrilled to announce that next year, right across the street at Disneyland Resort, guests can experience these magical worlds in brand new ways. Because in 2018, the resort will come alive with PixarFest. This celebration features a new fireworks spectacular as well as special characters and entertainment moments throughout both parks. Now, one of our favorites, the Pixar Play Parade, will move across the street for guests to enjoy at Disneyland Park. So, at California Adventure, the popular Paint the Night can return again. Now, I know that many of us have missed these parades and are very excited to see them again. And there may even be a new float to help celebrate.
So very interesting. Pixar Fest, both parks, new characters, but I guess the main takeaway I got of that is we're going to have the first ever Pixar fireworks extravaganza. That'll be very interesting.
And it will be fun to see, definitely to see the fireworks, but also I like when they do the projections on the buildings like that.
Right, and that was something that really debuted for the 60th anniversary. And the current show that they're showing now, which is actually the 50th anniversary fireworks, it's just lacks something because I was so used to having the buildings lit up. But the big part of that announcement is Paint the Night. Although it's going to be at California Adventure, I'm so used to it at Disneyland, and we love Paint the Night so much. And he teased a new float, so I'd be very excited. I would plan a trip just to make sure I see Paint the Night. That's how great that show is.
Well, the parade. And
Parade.
I've always enjoyed Paint the Night since we've seen it. We've seen it many times. I don't really know why it's going to DCA while the Pixar Play Parade is going to Disneyland. It seems like it should be back the way it was, but you know, you get both, and I'm excited to see Paint the Night wherever it goes, whether it's down, you know, Harbor Boulevard, I wouldn't care.
That's right. We would be there no matter what. Anyway, here is the second big announcement.
As part of this celebration, we're also going to be bringing even more Pixar stories to Disney California Adventure. And we're fortunate to have so many amazing colleagues at Disney Pixar to help us build upon that, including, of course, my favorite Mr. Incredible, John Lasseter. So you know what, D23 Expo? What would you think if you joined us right now? I think there may be more opportunity to bring Pixar to life.
What?
Or,
Really?
yeah, because
I'm so excited! What? Tell me!
wait for it. Next summer, Paradise Pier becomes Pixar Pier.
This is really awesome. We are going to have a home in Disney California Adventure, which I love this park. And for all these Pixar characters, it's going to be the home for Pixar characters. There's going to be, oh man, they're going to be all over the place. Of course, who likes Toy Story Mania? Well, you know it's a home of Toy Story Mania. Well, the whole pier becomes a home for so many other Pixar characters. It's going to be fantastic. Maybe some new rides too?
I think we can do that.
I love asking him questions in front of 7,000 people. This is great.
So, John.
Pixar Pier. Pixar Pier.
Pixar Pier.
So Mr. Lasseter was very excited there, wasn't he?
Very enthusiastic.
Now, we don't really know all that much from the announcement, but I kept hearing it'll be the home of Pixar characters.
And I like Paradise Pier the way it is. I'm not saying this won't be great too. There's not that much information about it yet, but we already have a Pixar presence in Cars Land, a major one. So, I mean, that's going to be a massive chunk of real estate for Pixar, although I'm sure Bugs Land, you know, we're going to see that gone for Marvel is what I expect.
Right, and we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit on that. But, you know, interesting, if you look at some of this concept art, I see Pixar Pals Theater. Could that be a meet and greet area where you meet different Pixar pals? That would be cool if that's true.
Or a show.
Bing Bong's Confectionery. I mean, that's just a retheming of things that are already there. I think it'll be a good thing. I don't have any attachment to the current Paradise Pier, so I'm all for the Pixar.
And it says it's an artist concept only, so anything can change at any time.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so now it's on to the next big announcement, and this is my favorite of the announcements.
So, what about this fall? Is there anything new coming to Cars Land for this fall?
Why, yes. Okay, you know how we like to celebrate Halloween, right? And Halloween's become really, really big in the parks, right? Well, did you know that the citizens of Radiator Springs celebrate Halloween too?
Who knew?
Coming this season will be the first ever Cars Land Halloween experience. It's going to be a complete overlay of the entire land to Halloween. And you'll see your favorite citizens of Radiator Springs maybe dressed up for the holiday too.
So this is what pushed us over the edge, I think.
For annual passes, and then to go back so soon. I definitely wanted to see Halloween here, and I love Halloween at Disneyland anyway, and they're really good with overlays, like Christmas overlays of Radiator Springs and Haunted Mansion Holiday and Small World Holiday, so I'm very excited about this one.
Well, yeah, and especially he mentioned the rides will be rethemed, the characters will be dressed up. Can you imagine the Cars Land characters dressed for Halloween? I think it'll be just awesome.
Not yet. I can't yet, so I'm really excited about that. But then we're going to head over to Disneyland, and we have tickets for the first Mickey's Halloween party.
And it's been a while. We actually went to the very first Mickey's Halloween party when they debuted them all those years ago. So I can't wait to get back. Plus, the parade is very new for us, right? What is it called?
Frightfully Fun Parade. It debuted last year, replacing the cavalcade.
With the Headless Horseman.
With the Headless Horseman.
Like we're used to here at Walt Disney World. And what is this? The Halloween Scream? Yeah, the fireworks with the Oogie Boogie.
And then there's going to be Day of the Dead in Frontierland, as we've seen before, but also to the new movie Coco over at in Paradise Pier, soon to be Pixar Pier, but it won't be Pixar Pier yet.
If you can follow all that.
And Haunted Mansion Holiday.
Of course, all the Haunted Mansion Holiday with the recent addition of the Hatbox Ghost here.
Right, from a couple of years ago, and I didn't even remember seeing him dressed up a little bit there for Halloween-ish, kind of a Halloween Christmas theme.
Right, and all the usual things, Ghost Galaxy, Space Mountain, and everything. So very, very exciting to be back for Halloween time at Disneyland.
And I highly recommend it.
Hi, obviously. So now, the next big announcement, let's check it out and see what it is.
Now, I'm guessing that some of you might have noticed this hatch. Yeah, I figured. And of course, it created a lot of online speculation. So I'd like to bring out a friend of ours who might have some idea of what's going on here because he always has a lot to say. Please join me in welcoming from Walt Disney World, Baby Groot. Hey Groot, welcome to D23 Expo. Is there anything you'd like to say to all of our biggest fans? Okay, I think they're pretty excited to see you too. What, hold on. What do you mean? They love you. How many Flora Colossus have bred in their own likeness? I know. There's 7,000 people out there who've been sharing a lot about what's new at Walt Disney Parks and Resorts. Groot, we talked about this during rehearsal. You weren't supposed to tell them all that. It's way too early. Oh, all right. Well, since Groot spilled the beans, I might as well elaborate. Soon the Guardians will be joined by Spider-Man and the Avengers in what will become a completely immersive superhero universe at Disney California Adventure. These new stories will build on the success of Guardians of the Galaxy, Mission Breakout, and create a place where you can team up with your favorite heroes like never before. Now, we can't share too many details yet. Our Imagineers and our friends at Marvel are working hand in hand on this, but I'm confident that they'll outdo themselves once again. Thanks for all your help, Groot. It was great having you here, but it's time to say goodbye. Have a magical day. Thank you, Groot. So stay tuned because Marvel fans have a lot more to hear about this, and we're really working hard on the development, and it's going to be spectacular.
So we didn't really learn a lot of details there, but we know we're going to get something with Spider-Man and the Avengers.
Right. So that's all we know. And we've heard maybe Bugs Land will be going away for probably this.
Well, yeah, you have to make room for all this, and it's going to be I guess, like a Marvel land. I mean, if it's anything like Guardians of the Galaxy, though, it will be spectacular.
As far as Mission Breakout.
Correct. Mission Breakout far exceeded my expectations. I loved it.
I did too. I do too. I mean, I'm going to enjoy it again when we go back in September.
That's right. Multiple times, yes. I'm sure.
And speaking of going back in September, we're looking forward to seeing Fantasmic again. But Fantasmic officially came back on July 17th, which was Disneyland's birthday. And we really enjoyed the new additions to it. But first, we're going to be talking about the dining package that we did.
That's right, and our dining package was at the River Belle Terrace. It's a place that, for us, we're used to seeing it as a quick serve, but they've turned it into a sit-down restaurant table service, and I guess that went into effect, what, in January, February of last year?
Right, so we have not been there since then. They do also have Blue Bayou on the dinner package and the Fantasmic package, and that's actually what I had wanted, but it sold out so quickly.
Instantly.
Yeah.
Super duper quick. And here is the regular menu. We're taking a look inside again. Last time we were in here, it was just a you get your food, you go find a table, sit down, quick serve.
Right, and that's what it kind of feels like still, and I know it's going to be going under refurbishment very soon. So hopefully they'll make it just feel a little bit more like the Plaza.
Right, right.
A little bit more of a table service restaurant.
So here is a look at the menu. I can't complain about the food. At least what I had, I thought was very good. I know I'm jumping ahead. It's $45 before any discount. They did offer an annual pass holder discount, which was helpful.
Right, plus tax and gratuity. And then there's only 2 starters, 2 desserts, but there's a fair amount of entrees. Now the Blue Bayou is $20 more than this, and they have like filet mignon.
Oh, yeah.
So that's part of the reason I wanted to.
I agree with you, but we haven't done that yet. Hopefully we'll get a chance to. Also, the kids' dinner is $25 plus tax and gratuity before the discount.
Right, and it was nice. We had just gotten our annual passes. We were not planning to do annual passes.
You talked me into it.
I did, because I want to go back for Halloween.
I cannot complain.
So it was nice to get, a little something off of the meal.
So we started with the salad. I had this nice salad here, and I thought it was great. It was very fresh, and I always like the walnuts in my salad. I like the sauce. I think for me, everything was really good.
And that wasn't really the type of salad that I go for. I'm a big salad person, but pretty much nothing in this would have been what I wanted.
And
so
they don't mention it, by the way, but the drinks are also included. Soft drinks are included.
Yes. And so it's a 3-course meal. And then I had the corn chowder, and corn chowder isn't something I normally get, but it was actually very good. It had a good amount of corn in it, and it was creamy. So this is something I would recommend. And honestly, not all the food presented as well as, I would have liked, but almost everything was tasty. Really, actually pretty delicious.
So you're saying it tasted better than it looked.
A lot of it, yeah. Now, your ribs looked fine. I thought the presentation on this was really good.
And I did not need any food for the rest of the night. And we had this very early. I think we had a 4:30 dinner, and I was still full by the time we left for the evening. That was really, really good. I loved the ribs, the beans. Again, a second winner for me. I ate all of this, and it is a lot. Well, plus I had some of your chicken, too. Mm-hmm. So, boy, you filled me up that day.
And I thought, actually, the baked beans were one of the best things we had. The green beans also were good. I think you could choose from like tater tots and potato salad or something. Like there were several choices. And the chicken just looked okay. I was like, but it's like a barbecue chicken. It's not too spicy, and it was actually very good.
Yeah, the seasoning is what made these items winners for me. That just like with the ribs, they had some. I can't even put my finger on it, but the seasoning was very good.
Well, a lot of times something will come out seasoned, and it's like, oh, that's not very good. But I've got to say this actually was.
Oh, well, I'm gonna let you talk.
This is the one item that I did not like, and I love strawberry shortcake.
And this presents itself well.
It was
by the way.
beautiful. This was like the best looking item except for your dessert, and the strawberries were fine, but it was so dry, and there was almost no whipped cream, and I just like left it, and somebody walked past me and said, they were like, oh, look, nobody likes that dessert.
You should have got the dragon.
Well, we were doing it for the review, so when you do that, you try to mix it up a little bit, and otherwise, this is what I would have picked. It reminds me of the Pandora cheesecake dessert with the sparkles. And sometimes when things are that pretty, they're not as good. But this one was really good. And actually, the Pandora cheesecake is excellent as well.
Yeah, I thought this dragon was excellent. Again, perfect. It's a perfectly themed and a great ending to the nice meal. And of course, the whole purpose of going there was to get the preferred viewing. And here is our 2 tickets. We were given a choice between the early show or the 10:30 show. And because we've had bad experiences with the first show of the night, we went for 10:30, and I'm glad we did. It was much less crazy than it would have been had we done the first show. So now let's talk a little bit about seating. And what I'm showing you now, this is the control booth. It's show center. It's really where you want to be to fully experience the show without a lot of obstructions. And we're going to show it to you from the side. But before we get any more into that, why don't you tell us about that special deal you can add on to your seating?
So I don't know if I'd call it a special deal, but it's $15 more, and it gets you seating over by the River Belle if you're doing the package. So it's like a preferred package or something like that. And then I think you get like rolls with your meal, and I don't think there's much else involved, but at least you get a seat.
Right, and you can only do that by calling, I heard him say.
Right.
And this is exactly where we ended up for the 2 shows that we had the center spot, and that was the very first night, July 17th. We had a fast pass. We went to the very last show, and because they weren't offering dinner packages, we were able to get the spot, and also right tonight, the night we're showing you, we ended up there. Now, if you do the second show like we did today, you want to try to get over to the reserved area early because it can get very, very crowded after the first show, as you're seeing here. But we finally managed to get around the crowd, and way up ahead, that is your goal. That's right in front of the Haunted Mansion. That illuminated sign says preferred seating.
And it's something you kind of want to scope out ahead of time because, like, right now it's dark and very crowded. So while, you know, earlier we showed it during the light, it's much easier if you know kind of where you're going. And that would go for any area, just to kind of get a lay of the land ahead of time.
So this is the River Belle Terrace preferred seating, as well as the Blue Bayou, and occasionally you said you heard something else.
Well, okay, so the Hungry Bear, which is a counter service location, they do like a boxed meal where you have a preferred dining area. And sometimes I believe I have heard that they have also been in here, at least occasionally. It probably depends how busy it is. I don't know where their current everyday place is, or if there is even an exact place.
Okay, so now you have to go through the checkpoints. You already saw the cast member with the wand. That was checkpoint 1. And this cast member here is going to finally take your ticket, and you're free to move about the cabin, so to speak. And we know exactly where we want to go. We showed you that earlier. You're going to look for the brown sign up ahead, and that's the control booth back there. We're going to sit down dead center and have a great spot for Fantasmic. So it was worth all the effort. It saved a lot of aggravation because we did the second show with a regular fast pass and ended up walking out. It was that bad. So it's really worth it if you're only going to have a fast pass.
And, you know, there was plenty of room. I don't know if there is always plenty of room, but I think the dining packages were pretty busy. Plus, I believe they may have had Hungry Bear people come into our area that day as well, and it was not packed.
So let's talk about Fantasmic. It has recently been reimagined. Not really fully reimagined, but cleaned up and updated.
So Fantasmic is 25 years old. I actually saw it, I believe, in 1992, so not long after it first opened.
You remember the Ursula float then?
I don't really remember everything. I only saw it once that time.
That was very short-lived.
But I just remember, you know, it was really a great show. And this is really one of my favorite theme park shows, and I think it looks better than ever. You can see here on the cabin all of the projection mapping, which was not there before. And the water screens and all look better than ever as well.
Yeah, it has never looked better. There are some new segments, and we're going to talk about those now. This one is the Lion King.
Right, and it's really a more, I don't know if you'd say subtle than some of the other changes. It's, you know, on the water screens, and the water screens are 60 foot wide by 30 feet. And they always, I mean, as far as water screens go, they're really very clear.
And Ka, look at Ka. Somehow Ka looks a lot different to me and better, like he's been upgraded too.
Right, I mean, I think he looks excellent. Maleficent, who we're going to see in a little bit. But anyway, besides the Lion King segment where we saw Simba, there's also the Jack Sparrow replaced Peter Pan, and I'm sure we'll see that as well.
Yeah, and there are other new segments too. Jasmine and Aladdin make an appearance, all kind of new things. Oh, there's the monkeys. Now, you missed the old monkeys, and I think I missed the old monkeys too.
So the old monkey segment was one of my favorite, the dancing monkeys was one of my favorite segments back then. I really enjoyed that, the music and everything. This one's okay, and it's pretty cool, like a black lit effect, but I still prefer the old one.
So now we're seeing a little bit of the genie. He's sort of a precursor to later on when you see Jasmine and Aladdin. And also you're seeing some projections from Finding Nemo that are also new to this version of the show.
And I hadn't realized they were new. Like it's not like we see Fantasmic all the time, and it's been down for a while, so I had forgotten what exactly was new and what exactly was old on a few things.
Well, this is certainly one that you can't forget. This is a major new segment coming here. It is Captain Jack Sparrow, Pirates of the Caribbean, and a very controversial change.
Well, I mean, for many, it was controversial because it had Peter Pan and Captain Hook doing battle before. Now it's Jack Sparrow, and then you have, is it Elizabeth Swann on the boat? Always.
We don't really know. I don't think anyone has figured out what's going on the boat.
I have no idea. And it says, like, I think there's a sign that says, you know, wanted Jack Sparrow, but he's on the boat.
Right.
So I'm not sure I understand that. The stunts are good. It's always loud. So if you don't like being startled, I hate being startled.
Double the pleasure. You get 2 cannon blasts instead of the 1 that you used to have.
Well, I think it's like 3 now, but I bring earplugs when I remember, just so it's a little bit muted because it's so loud. Anyway, there's Jack Sparrow. Personally, I think there's enough Jack Sparrow already here at Pirates of the Caribbean, so I would have liked to have kept Peter Pan. It sort of takes me out. I think I've read that it sort of takes people out of the show, and for me, in some sense, it does as well. But it's not like terrible either.
No, it's still impressive. It's just I think it's the only live action element in an otherwise fully animated show. Anyway, now we're going to go to another new edition, and we are going to see Aladdin and Jasmine live, which is pretty cool.
Right, and I thought this was a very, very nice effect where you have them you know, riding the magic carpet. And so this was probably, this may have been my favorite new segment of the show.
And the first time I saw it, I didn't have any spoilers, and I thought it was animated at first because it's kind of hidden behind the mist screen, and it doesn't necessarily look real. And then when the mist fades away and you see, oh, there they are, I think it worked very well for me.
So I already knew that this was going to happen, but I mean, seeing a picture or even a little bit of a video clip versus seeing it in person was very different. So anyway, like I said, I thought as far as you're going to see the other princesses and princes here now. What's different now is Rapunzel and Flynn Rider. The others are the same. You have Ariel and Eric, and then you have Beauty and the Beast. It used to be Snow White and her prince, and now we'll see Rapunzel and Flynn Rider in just a second.
And here they are, and I think they make a great addition. And of course, it's a nighttime show, so I would expect we're going to see some lantern action going.
Right, and of course, and it's not like you have a lot of lanterns. I believe it's just like the one lantern. You can see Rapunzel likes to dance with her lantern there. So anyway, I just thought this was a very nice segment. I like Snow White too, though. But Rapunzel's a little more current, and I really enjoy.
And because we were doing a close shot of her, you missed, but they projected lots more lanterns on the mist screen, so it did look like she was.
I forgot about that.
So now we're starting the villains segment, and we lost a whole build-up. You know, you had the evil queen, and then the evil queen sort of summoned the magic mirror, and then she was transformed into the old hag here, and this now just starts with the old hag. So that was actually something substantial that was cut.
And we had just looked at it to kind of get an idea, and I had totally forgotten. I mean, that was a big segment that we lost with the pot and, you know, and everything. So it's interesting to see it just start from here, but it didn't feel like we lost anything until I just watched it.
Until we went back to the original show.
Wow, I forgot about that. That was really a good segment.
And of course, Chernabog. Chernabog is always a favorite of the villain fans, so they did keep him in, which was very nice. And of course, here he is. Here is, well, not here. She. I was going to say here she is. It's Maleficent, the dragon, Maleficent form, and spectacular as always. What a difference from the original dragon Maleficent that opened the show, when it was really just sort of a head on a cherry picker.
Well, it's just, I mean, this is this audio, I don't even know what you call it, animatronic, audio animatronic. But
fire-breathing animatronic.
Yes, 45 feet tall by 28 feet wide and weighs 18,000 pounds. So Mickey better watch out.
Yeah, Maleficent has never looked better, especially with all the upgraded effects around her. And of course, Mickey is going to slay the dragon, and that hasn't changed.
Well, I think that Mickey used to have a sword or something.
He definitely had a sword, and now he's using his magical powers. Yeah, so very different for the big cheese.
Right. So I mean, there's some changes with the show. But overall, it has never looked, to me, it's never looked better, even though there's a few segments I don't like as much.
And here's something that hasn't changed at all. It's the big finale on the Mark Twain, just as awesome as it ever was.
And the funny thing is, like, we were over at Big Thunder Trail during one of the shows, and as it's coming by, it is totally pitch black. Like the characters are coming around the bend in pitch black, so you're seeing the boat and you can kind of hear a little bits of talking.
It's very eerie,
funny.
but they're still waving at you.
Yeah.
They're still full in their full force.
And then, you know, you just keep watching it and all of a sudden it lights up and everything, you know, the fireworks go off. So that's just really an interesting effect to watch it from there.
And now we are at the big finale. The grand finale here is Sorcerer Mickey himself. And I noticed definitely more fireworks involved and certainly more lasers. And just I think this really improves one of the most of the show is the finale.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought it was great. I got some, you know, I thought I got some pretty good pictures of it. You know, just with the lasers and the fountains and the fire. I mean, to me, it's as close as, let's say, a Disney Dreams over at, that used to be over at Disneyland Paris as you can get.
And I should mention Fantasmic exists here at Disneyland, also at Walt Disney World, and Tokyo Disney Sea. And a lot of the music from this version has been kind of recycled from Tokyo Disney Sea.
Is that true? Because I didn't know that.
I had read that, yes.
Oh. It almost looked like a hidden Mickey there in the...
It was a disappearing Mickey or an exploding Mickey.
And then, yes, but it was almost like a hidden Mickey in the smoke.
Overall, I would give it a thumbs up. I thoroughly enjoyed Fantasmic. I still do, and I can't wait to see it many, many more times, so I will get attached to all the new changes.
Well, we saw it 3 times. I mean, I was really wowed by it all 3 times, and I look forward to seeing it again when we go back to Disneyland in like 5 weeks. I just can't believe we're going back so soon, but I'm just so excited about Halloween at Disneyland especially. I think it's going to be so spectacular, and just like Disneyland Paris last year, I wouldn't have minded going back. I would have loved to have gone back to Disneyland Paris again this year, but we're going to Disneyland.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
No.
And you know what else?
That's another show.
That's another show. Thanks to our sponsors, MEI Travel and Mousefan Travel.
Check them out for Disneyland travel because I think that's where everybody should be going this fall. Or Walt Disney World. That's good too for the Epcot Food and Wine Festival and Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party.
And you forgot Disneyland Paris.
I know Disneyland Paris also. So
are you going to say that's good too?
No, I love Disneyland Paris. So, but for new stuff, I think the Disneyland right now is the way to go.
Halloween, new Halloween
New
goodness.
Halloween. I love Halloween, and Disneyland has so much already, so I can't wait to see what new they're bringing to the table.
Also, this week, some big doings for us. We're going to be saying goodbye to the Great Movie Ride. We have that awesome event where we get to walk the tracks, so I'm very excited about that. We'll probably say goodbye one more time to Universe of Energy.
Probably not me. I'm good. I did it.
No respect. No respect at all.
I did it. It's almost an hour.
Poor dinosaurs. Now they're going to be really extinct.
I hadn't done it for years, and all of a sudden, I did it, and now I'm good. So, bye dinosaurs. Bye. But Great Movie Ride, I'll really miss.
Anyway, thanks everyone for hanging in. I was shocked to see how many people actually listened to the end from looking at the messages.
Me too.
So anyway, thanks for listening. Have a great week, and we'll see you all next week.
Have a great week.